That's not good, right?
No, I don't think it's good. I don't.
When the light's red, it's bad, right?
If the light's red, it's usually bad. We might be on. I'm not really sure, but here we are. Me and Carl once again. Another pop-up.
There we go.
Carl just came from Peter Luger's, where he had a big time lunch.
Dude,
Were you wheeling and dealing?
Wheeling and dealing. I was with restaurant royalty. I call my buddy and I said, "Hey, listen, it's Christmas. Let's catch up. We got some stuff we got to deal with." It's no problem. Picks me up in a Yukon. He's got a driver, but like a white driver, like a 35-year-old white guy that has like a family or something.
Why are you surprised he had a white driver?
Because I thought it was gonna be one of my people.
I don't get the white driver thing.
What are you talking about?
Like if you're really rich, you get a white driver.
I think you're wealthy. You have white staff.
All right.
Like when I had a restaurant in Prince Edward Island, my dishwasher was a white woman. Like the first day of work, she brought me an apple pie. I'm like,
what the hell is that?
I'm gonna beat you with this thing. Like, you know how much work we have to do, Brenda?
That's white. That's really white.
She's like, it's gonna be a pleasure working with you, chef. I'm like,
God.
Shut up, Brenda.
Was Brenda all right in the end?
What do you mean?
Was she a good worker? El Stinkeroo. El Stinkeroo. Really?
Oh, she had she tell me about her kids. I'm like, I need teacups, lady. I don't care about your buck-toothed kid. Let's move it on.
Did you end up firing her?
I know. Yeah, gloriously. Everyone's like, you're a monster. You're from another planet.
Yeah.
Because no one's ever fired Brenda.
Right.
Because she shows up with her pies and her bullshit.
You can't fire someone if they show up with a pie.
Gone. And I ate the pie.
Of course you did. So Brenda was gone. So this guy had a Yukon and a white driver.
White driver. So we go and
Wait, who is this guy? Did
can't
you
tell
say?
you.
Can't tell.
Big deal guy. Everybody knows him.
TV guy?
TV guy, restaurant guy.
Really?
You know, everybody's having backdoor meetings. You in trouble? Who got caught? Who got caught this week? Who's in? The whole restaurant business is a little sideways right now. But
why is the restaurant business sideways?
well, it's sexual harassment shit.
But no. Oh, what's his name?
Everybody. So anyway,
What do you mean everybody?
no, everybody's just scared.
Okay.
So
Who was the dude that got in trouble?
Mary Batali.
Did you see what he tweeted?
I thought it was the best thing ever.
You saw it, right?
He had a cinnamon recipe.
Yes. No.
Bro, let me tell you something.
My wife pointed out to me, like, if you didn't, what's his name again?
Mary Batali.
Vitaly. So he's the latest victim in the whole Me Too thing, and then he, what was it on Twitter, Facebook?
He sent out like a mass email,
Yeah.
like to his fans,
Yeah.
and it was like, "Hey, listen."
No, but it made Twitter and all that as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And he said, "Hey, listen, I'm sorry about roughing up them chicks.
Yeah.
And here's the best cinnamon bun recipe." Bro, my phone lit up. It was every chef on the planet was like, "Don't you do it!" Like telling me, because you know me, I want to clean it, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it! I can't believe he did that."
That takes fucking.
Oh, he's got balls.
He's got balls.
He gives
Zero fucks.
about anything.
Really?
He owns like a lake in Michigan. He's out of here.
You don't give a fuck.
Bro, he owns Italy. He's worth $500 million.
But to add a recipe on the end of your
Just a
apology,
real.
oh my god, that's awesome.
I loved it.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, people are asking what we're drinking. What's up, Don Becker? I'm drinking today a cider. Is it an apple cider?
no, it's pear cider.
This is a pear cider.
It's a German pear cider.
It's really, really nice.
Yep.
Carl picked it out, and then you got like a chocolate stout bomb there.
I got an evil twin from Brooklyn. Double chocolate stout, chocolate Jesus. It's called 12% land missile.
That's a bomb.
This is a Mohawk.
Ebony and ivory. I'm gonna hide my drink. It's not grapefruit cider. So the guy in the Yukon
So we go
with the white driver picks you up for a big fucking meeting.
Right, so we go to Peter Luger's. So I go to Luger's a lot, right? I never went to Luger's like this, though. we get there. This guy gets out of the truck. I'm behind him. Everybody, I mean, you're talking waiters that have been there for 50 years, are high-fiving this guy.
Really?
Like he's Pete Rose.
Really?
And I'm like...
Wait, they recognize him?
Not only recognize him, but they're like, all right, so we sit at the bar, 2 dark beers come up, no order. How you doing? The old waiter guy who I talk to all the time, but the only reason he talks to me is because I give him $50.
Yeah.
Billy,
Really?
this guy puts the money up, pushes the money away.
So this guy's a regular there, so everyone knows him.
He's a regular in.
But is he so famous that people recognize him?
Yeah.
So he's not a behind-the-scenes guy.
No, not necessarily.
He's a little of both.
A little bit of both.
I'm gonna figure this out.
So we get there. All of a sudden, the owner of Peter Luger's, the son of the lady that stamps all the meat and stuff. Hey, what's going on? Sits right between me and him. So now I'm just staring at the dude's back.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm going to get to meet the owner of Peter Luger's.
Right.
Because I got a list of demands. I'm like, see, that one time you sat me by that window and it was drafty, and then, what's up with that? Why do I always have to sit in that room? I hate that room.
Right.
And, you know what I mean? Like, I have a list of things I want to clear up here. And the guy just sat and whatever, and then we sit and eat. So we were there, it was already after lunch. And they made us the hamburger anyway. So we got hamburgers for an appetizer.
What? Well, I saw your Instagram. So
Yeah.
you had a cheeseburger for an appetizer,
Yes.
and what? They don't serve it after lunch?
No.
Really?
No, you can only get it during lunch and
Who
during
the
the week.
fuck has an appetizer? A cheeseburger as an appetizer?
Well, it's made out of the trimmings of a 3-week-old dry porterhouse. So let me tell you. And the onion on the bottom with the perfect cheese on top. I mean, you want to talk about a textbook perfect cheeseburger? I'm sitting there, I look at the guy I'm with. He looks at me and goes, fucking right? I go, I've never had it.
Really?
First time I had it.
It looked amazing.
I'm never there at that time.
But then after the cheeseburger, then you go in all in with the steak.
We had a nice porterhouse.
I don't know how you do it. God bless you.
I was sweating. I crushed these people in the subway on the 2 coming here.
Yeah.
Everything moved around, and I had to drop some fuel out of the wing.
Over the sea of Japan. Let some gas loose.
And it was just like almost like a skunk spray. Like my tail went up and yeah.
One of those?
It was like the first time you put like a trumpet and you don't know how to make a noise. So,
those are the worst smelling ones.
oh, it singed some hair. Like, it was.
When I throw it in my house and my wife and my kids go, I'm like, that's not the one you have to worry about. The loud ones are easy.
No, the loud ones.
It's the...
I used to always tell everybody, the loud farts are thunder. It's the quiet ones. That's the lightning. You know what I mean? That's what's going to kill you. Thunder don't kill you.
Waiting for the thunder. So, a couple things about Peter Luger's. I haven't been there in a while. Do the homies still park the cars outside?
Yeah.
They do, right?
Yeah, everything's all the same.
And that's so they don't fuck with your car.
Nobody fucks with anything there.
No. Well, back in the day, we went to Luger's here and there, and you pull up, and then you have to give the homies money, and they watch your car and basically tell the other homies, don't fuck with this guy's car. Yeah. That whole thing's still going on there?
Yeah, then some dude shows up with his rental from Michigan and he gets raped.
Yeah, because he refuses to pay the homies. And the homies are cool there.
And next you know, you come outside, you got one windshield wiper outside.
It's a great scam.
Oh, it's
a great scam.
Everything that costs you money.
Right.
So here's what blew me away. I've been going to Peter Luger's for 20 years. And we eat. The owner comes and sits with us while we're eating, talking to us. Nice. Talking to us about shit that I don't think I should be knowing. You know what I mean?
Really?
But he's talking to this guy, and they're talking about some real shit. And I'm like a kid in a candy store. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And now I feel like I'm part of the group. It's like I jump in, dead silent.
I was going to say, when did you realize you really weren't part of the group?
Immediately. So like, they're talking like this, and then they're talking about some steak company, right? Oh, that guy's a piece of shit and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, he's a piece of shit. They're like, he's our friend. I'm like, yeah. All right.
He's not so much a piece of shit.
Yeah, no, I just meant it like in a fun way. Merry Christmas. And
someone's saying Carl made me so hungry with those steaks.
Oh my God.
I want to acknowledge some of the people that are supporting the pop-ups. So, how did the rest of the meeting go? How did the rest of
so the meeting went great. We cleared up some stuff.
Did you behave?
Yeah.
Or were you firing some Jim Beams?
No.
Really?
When I go there,
Sophisticated Carl showed
I
up.
only had 3 Jim Beams,
That's all right.
and I wanted to really enjoy the meat's so good there. You don't want to anesthetize your mouth.
Ridiculous.
So first time in my life, they finished the steak, and the guy goes, "You want some dessert?" Now they make schlag there, which is
I
unbelievable.
know the schlag. What is schlag again?
It's basically sweet butter.
Right.
It's whipped to an inch of butter.
It's whipped cream, basically.
Right, but they whip it so much. Remember, you go from milk to whipped cream to butter.
Butter, right.
It's right between
So
butter.
it's in between whipped cream and butter.
Yeah, schlag. In the middle.
No, I've had it before, but I didn't realize exactly what it was.
So dinner's over, lunch is over, and we got the cream spinach and everything. Guy looks at me and goes, "You want another steak to take for the kids or anything?" I says, "No." I said, "I have to go see Opie." You know what I mean? I don't want...
How about a steak for the Opster?
No. I don't know what temperature you want, and then you're not going to eat it, and then you know what I mean?
I'm gonna eat the steak. I'll eat the steak every time.
There's no way you can make me feel bad because I didn't bring you a fucking steak. Fucking weirdo. You're like making faces. Like, so you didn't bring me a steak from your lunch? Who talks like that? Did you bring some of your lunch from? Did you bring some of your tuna fish sandwich from
If I went to
today?
Peter Luger's and someone said, "You want a steak for the family?" I'm taking a steak, and then I would probably give it to
Oh my
you.
God.
We would be eating steak right
You
now.
think like a runaway though. Like, what am I gonna do? They're nice enough to have me for lunch. I'm gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I'll take another steak."
Right.
You can't do that. They're trying to be fancy.
So what's gonna happen with this meeting?
So the guy comes up.
Yeah.
I've been going here for 25 years. Never in my life. Owner comes up and says, "It's on the house." I just about melted. I said, in my life in New York City, I've never seen someone get a free meal. In my life.
So this guy's
And I've been with ginormous celebrities in there. And it's on the house. I was frozen.
Wow. This guy's got to be pretty powerful.
Scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's just like the meetings I've been having lately. I was talking to my agents, I guess Thursday or Friday, and they go, "Things are looking good on the Sirius XM front as far as getting my
scratching
we
itch.
talked about that last pop-up.
The only Vic Sandler says, "I don't believe you."
I know.
I love Vic.
And then they said, "But it's a little slow in the programming department." You know what the programming department means?
He's a job.
Yes. It's a little slow. And then they're like, "Well, it's because, it's the time of year where everyone shuts down for the year and for Christmas and Hanukkah." I said no to too many jobs, bro. I'm so stupid.
What happened?
I said no to too many of those lower jobs. Now I'm
Like all the jobs that when you would call me, like, "Oh, these people call, but and you give me the kitty paw. Nah, kitty paw. Nah."
But it's in the middle of striper season. There'll be more offers.
You literally said that.
Yeah. There'll be more offers.
Oh my
What are you gonna do? The last pop-up at McDonald's was crazy.
Dude.
I'm kind of mad at myself that that the camera, first of all, was on you for half of it.
You're mad? Imagine me, everybody calling, making fun of my face.
Just so people know, before I put that wood chipper video together, I just tweeted it again. If you go to my Twitter, Opie Radio, and Carl is Carl Ruiz, R-U-I-Z. I actually called him because I'm like, I hope I know he has a sense of humor, but I'm like, I had to get your approval on that one.
I thought it was the funniest
Because
thing.
it's a brutal close-up of you just fucking
Crushing it.
crushing McDonald's for a half hour straight.
It was delicious that day.
That was fun. I did a lot of rookie mistakes though. I didn't have the camera on a two-shot when all that commotion was going on, where there was like fights breaking out and all the high school kids running out of McDonald's because they were fighting in the street. I should have turned the camera around. I wanted to show the cop in that video, but I didn't do any of that. I don't know where my head was. But then I at least took the video of your close-up and I made it into something. People really like it.
Oh my god.
They really like it. So
I got a second call from my mom
really,
that her friends are saying that I'm on Facebook eating and cursing.
when I'm editing these videos, I got 2 kids at home that are now telling me stop cursing. Do your kids do that to you?
No. They're cursing too. They're older. They're older than you.
No, when they were younger. They're at that age. They're 7.5 and 5.
Oh, my kids are 12. They're like regular adults.
And they'll just start screaming, "Don't say that!"
No, my kids get it.
That's not the worst, right? Possible cleavage behind them. Thank you. But that pop-up was pretty awesome. And then the same day we did the pop-up, a little bar right up the street here on 72nd Street.
Oh
on the
my
Upper West
God.
Side.
One of my favorite
That bar
bars.
rules.
Yeah.
What's the name of it? Oh, you don't want to tell people?
No, because I don't want people to go there. I love it.
Have you seen a few people go into where we do these pop-ups
Yes.
to hang out?
Especially the food stuff.
The Subway Sushi they went to
Subway
hang out.
Sushi.
A few people went to Pete's Tavern on the east side.
Like when I post the breakfast sandwiches, like the owner's like, "Hey, bro, do me a favor. I don't know who follows you, but they definitely don't have a driver's license and a car. They come in here drooling. I want Carl's sandwich."
Well, you're a big deal in the foodie community, my friend. So then we went to that bar, which is close to here, and then we ran into Vic Kelly finally.
But then after that, let me tell you the behind the
Oh
scenes.
yeah, you should talk about what happened after that.
So we meet
Well,
up.
first of all, that pop-up was awesome.
It was awesome.
Vic Henley
Firing on all cylinders.
comes in drunk, firing on all cylinders. Basically walked into that bar with a flamethrower.
Oh, God. Everybody got roasted.
No one was safe.
No.
And then my stupid battery on the Mevo went.
Thank God I got my charger thing. That thing is sick.
Yeah, but we hung out there for another half hour, and
Yeah.
Vic never stopped, just beating the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
And then I went home, and you guys went out.
Oh, my God.
How bad was it?
It was awesome.
Really?
So we go to dinner, and we meet one of my friends, and she's a chef on the Food Network also.
Yeah.
And she's from Kentucky. And Mr. Sugar Glider, squirrel salesman, Vic Henley, they have this language. When true Southern people hook up, it's like watching Mutual of Omaha, like a mating call. The fucking chin starts going and the weird feathers come up. They were talking. It didn't even sound like English. It was like, hee-haw. I'm like, what the f*** is that?
They speak hee-haw.
Yeah, they speak hee-haw. And they're hee-hawing back and forth and laughing and high-fiving. I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. And then we have this beautiful dinner at a place called AG Kitchen.
Oh, AJ Kitchen is
Yeah.
my neighborhood. That's a good place.
I used to work for that guy, Alex Garcia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They do a really good job.
Yeah, nice little
That's
stuff.
on Columbus Avenue,
Yeah.
around 72nd. Yeah. Okay.
And we ate everything on the menu.
What was the best thing you had there?
The bourbon.
The bourbon.
I drank a lot of bourbon there. Because now I'm with...
But are you making a joke, or do they have better bourbon than most places?
No, the bourbon was great. The empanada, one of the best empanadas in the city. There's spinach and manchego cheese empanada, which is delicious. And I get the skirt steak when I'm there, and the ropa vieja, because he's Cuban, he does some good stuff.
Yeah.
And I made the mistake of ordering sangria. Vic Henley, 50 caliber. Boom! Battleship. Fuck you! Fuck! At the bar, just fuck you! Fuck this! Unbelievable.
Why does he do that?
He throws that fuck yous like they're hellos.
Right.
Like I've never.
And then he'll do that little.
You funny today. You're funny today.
Yeah, thanks. Big surprise, real funny. Jesus.
And he's just talking to her, this Food Network girl, he's talking to her about everything, and they're having a great old time, and she's having fun because he's so over the top that she can, let her hair down and talk. And then she leaves. But now Vic is hopped up on sangria. We ain't going nowhere. We go get Sherrod Small at the...
Shit.
So me and Vic Henley jump in a cab. He must have thrown out 80 fuck yous in the cab to nobody. Just blanks. Fuck you, fuck you. And while that's happening, it's the election, right? So Roy Moore, we don't know if he's going to win or not. So he's like, fuck you, pedophile. Like, it was awful.
Right.
What?
You know, someone was commenting that the girl behind us is touching their hair a lot. I got distracted.
What the fuck? I'm telling the story.
It's a wonderful. Well, I don't have to pay attention.
I'm going to write that down. Demerit for Opie.
No, as long as they're enjoying the story and listening, I don't really have to listen. I just have to like.
That's the worst thing anybody's ever said to me.
I jumped up to see a comment like, I thought I touched my hair a lot or something. Anyway, yeah, sorry.
So then we
The
picked up
FUs and
then we go to the country.
I was listening.
We go to a country club.
Oh. Get a room.
Hey, what is wrong with you?
What?
You can't fight. I'm gonna have to fight all these people.
What do you mean I can't fight?
You're not gonna fight. You're like, my Vimo, my Vimo.
I can fight.
Come on. How good?
Pretty good.
How about I smack that drink out and throw you against this window?
You want to fight? That would be so much fun. Dude, I'll turn the camera around. There's a whole bunch of garbage.
That's what you fighting?
Let's do it.
No, I don't want to fight.
What?
I'm not gonna ruin a perfect steak.
That'd be so much fun, though.
No, it's not.
All right, so you go and get Sherrod.
So we get.
I really was listening.
So we get Sherrod, and then we just drink ourselves to death. I get home at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Can you back off for a second? They want to see the guy.
Yeah, it's been like I can tell that it's
It's
really.
like you have to interact with some of these people, and they're also telling us to fight.
You have to drink.
It's got zero chance. It's got zero chance.
What do you think then?
Huh?
Why would you say that?
You could just tell.
What are you, like Dr. Ruth Christensen?
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so you go and get Sherrod.
Get Sherrod, and then we just
Mistake.
No.
How is that not a mistake with Vic Henley?
Well, first of all, we
have to land Vic Henley at this point.
Vic Henley, we walked into a room full of comedians, and then everybody was saying "fuck you," and you couldn't.
I know that guy.
Who's that?
I smoked pot with him at the Allman Brothers show backstage. He lives in my building.
He looks homeless.
That's how we dress around here.
Why the fuck would you want to dress like that?
I really got annoyed with that guy backstage at the Allman, at the Beacon Theater, close to here.
But you waved at him like you had an affair with him. You're like,
No, I'll tell you why. Because my building has a lot of dirt bags, and no one talks to anyone. He's one of the only ones that is social and nice.
you hate the people in your building, don't you?
I absolutely. We all got kids around the same age, and you walk in the elevator, and people look at you like, "Who are you?" I've been getting on this elevator with you for 10 years. I just looked it up. We've been in that building 10 fucking years.
That's a long time.
And people look at you like you're a stranger. I'm like, Jesus, dude. But
What year did they build that building?
I don't know, probably 15 years ago, maybe.
You got in there pretty new.
Ish, yeah.
You got in there pretty new.
I want out.
Do you really?
Yeah, we're looking around. I want out. I want out.
Remember what I told you? Don't move anywhere old in New York. Remember what I told you about the bugs and the fucking rats
And the mice.
and the mice.
Yeah, but I had a place up here on Columbus
And it was
Avenue
infested.
and 71st, right where the old John and Yoko coffee shop used to be. I was like 2 brownstones down from that. It was a legendary place. You know of that place?
I hate the Beatles, so no.
Supposedly, not supposedly, they had pictures. John and Yoko would walk to this joint every day,
Boo.
sat at the same table and had their cappuccino or coffee and had a little snack.
They should have killed Yoko that day.
Whoa, hey, all right. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So anyway, and they saved the table they sat at every day,
Right.
And it was a conversation piece for all these Beatles fans that came around the world. They would go there just because they knew John and Yoko would have coffee there every day.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then this is why New York City is just a terrible place. And I know you don't like the Beatles and all that, and that's fine. The guy can't afford the rent anymore. This place was legendary. They had celebrity shots on the wall, but from another era. Like opera stars,
Yeah.
and like turn of the century. Like these people were famous like in 1910.
Right.
And they had a whole wall of these people. Old actors, old opera stars, Broadway stars. You didn't recognize or know any of them, but it was just a cool piece of New York City history. So they can't afford the rent anymore. are.
What?
You would think somehow the city would like step in and go, well, this is a pretty legendary place. It's been here for at least 100 years. Plus, John and Yoko used to hang out here every afternoon. The guy couldn't afford the rent. They sell the place, and it turns into a hardware store.
Yeah.
And people lost their mind. Like, are you serious?
Well, if you wanted it, buy it. That's what capitalism is all about.
Yeah, I'm surprised not one Beatles fan with a lot of money stepped up and said, look, let's try to save this joint. But anyway, I lived like 2 brownstones away from there, and we were infested with mice.
Oh.
Infested.
There's 3 mice for every person. It's a stupid island.
I brought it up on the radio show back in the day,
Right.
And Jimmy goes, if you have 1 mice, you're infested.
Yeah.
And I didn't believe him. I'm like, no, it's just 1 cute mouse, excuse me.
I was thinking like, isn't it mouse?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm stupid, so I'm like, wow, I must have been saying it wrong for 40 years.
Audio hurts. What's wrong with the audio? Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe it's that guy. I'm getting perfect bars over here.
Yeah, bro, we have a whole control system here.
Yeah, we're good, brother.
Look, it goes red when I talk.
But I remember the first night I slept in this brownstone. I finally got a place, in the city. I'm a Long Island kid. It was right after 9/11, early 2002. I sleep in there with my air mattress. My shit's coming the next day. And I'm just so happy on an air mattress, an empty apartment. And I thought I was seeing things in the middle of the night because I felt like something was running across the floor. And I'm like, I think I went out that night, so I'm like, you're just drunk, you asshole. Just go to sleep, right? That was the mice just moving around the empty apartment. Because, eventually I learned, that the place was infested, and I was killing them left and right with an electric trap. So
That's disgusting. Yeah, live in a new building.
just always don't go for the old buildings. I remember my now wife, we were dating.
Oh, it says, it's only when Carl talks that the sound is riveting off his jack-o'-lantern teeth.
Wow, you are loud.
Jack-o'-lantern teeth.
We want to try to have a perfect pop-up where the camera doesn't fall down, where the audio works, where we got a nice 2-shot. Anyway, so my now wife, we were dating, and I got us burritos, and we're watching a nice movie, right? And she's got a blanket on, and all of a sudden she goes like this with the blanket to fluff it, and a mouse goes flying across the room. And I'm like, I guess I should tell you, I think this place has mice. And then another, I think it was the same night, then one was on its 2 back legs begging for the burrito. That's how many mice we had. They were starving and didn't care that they were out.
That is disgusting.
Isn't it?
That is absolutely disgusting.
And then I was killing them with the glue traps, which was...
But they're still alive.
It's the most depressing thing, especially when you get a baby and it's just... Its whole ear is like stuck like this. And its arm is stuck and you're ripping the mouse off the glue trap because now you're trying to save the thing. And then you're ripping a limb off the thing. You're like, well, maybe it'll survive in the wild.
No.
Because I had a little outdoor space, I would throw it out there.
Why? They would come right back in.
And then I would cut the glue traps around the mouse to give it a chance to survive. I'm like, this is terrible. So someone finally turned me onto the electric traps.
Yeah, you zap them to death.
And I was up to some like 60 or 70 kills, and then I stopped counting. We would be in the living room watching movies, and the kitchen was right around the corner, really close. And we only have one light on around the couch, the TV on, nice romantic setting, drinking some wine or whatever. And all of a sudden you'd hear, got another one. I had to get up, empty it into the garbage pail, and sit back down. Another one. It was. We did not miss that place when we finally got out of there. But anyway, so do not move into an old building. Got it.
Absolutely. Oh, that steak feels great in my belly. I had a really good lunch today. I usually have good lunches, but this was a great lunch.
Did you get anything done?
I got a lot done.
A little place for the Opster?
What do you mean?
Whatever. I don't know if there's a little something going on with you.
Oh, no. This was all personal. This was all personal business.
But it's a famous person?
In my world, it is. Not famous like movies. Famous like the Daily News and the New York Post.
I'm going to shut my mouth now.
I think that'd be great.
I figured it out. All right. Well, that's good.
That's a great
How about a
step.
shout out? Wayne wants a shout out.
Hey,
Here's your
Wayne.
Shout out. My comments don't show up. Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Joe Dugas.
Joe Dugas.
Joe Dugas. People want me to finish the story about the Voyeur Motel.
I want you to finish the story about it.
So we were at the McDonald's pop-up, and near the end I was talking about this documentary someone turned me on to called Voyeur. It's on Netflix. The documentary stinks. It's horrible.
The sign behind you says OP.
Is it really?
Oh yeah, right there.
Oh, we can see everything.
That means we got a good camera these days.
Look at that.
Very nice.
Do you want a t-shirt from Marie's or no? Would you wear it? What size are you? Extra small?
I'm a medium.
But a medium's baggy, I mean.
No, God no. I'm between a medium and large, but since getting fired, I've lost a few. I'm back down to a medium.
I'm gonna get you some t-shirt.
I'll wear one on the next pop-up.
Got it.
So the Netflix documentary Voyeur stinks, but it's based on a book called Voyeur Motel,
Right.
which Gay Talese, famous author, I didn't even know he was famous, but people told me that he was really famous,
right?
And he wrote this book. Basically, this guy contacted him and said, "Look, I bought a hotel back in the late '60s, and I bought it for the sole purpose to watch people." So he set up the whole motel with like a crawl space above, more than a crawl space. He could walk.
So you just walk from room to room.
He was comfortable. So you know the street motels where it's all ground level.
Yeah.
So he could walk pretty much a corridor above where all these people slept.
and no one could hear him.
He set it up so it's pretty much soundproof. He had a little door which was about 6 or 7 feet off the ground, so you had to get to the door with a ladder. And every once in a while, people go, "What's that door?" It's like, it's my attic for storage. But it really was for this whole world. And so he documented everything that was going on at his motel for many, many years, and then contacted Gay Talese, who wrote the book Voyeur Motel. It's a very erotic book, very erotic. So
That's incredible.
very erotic, and he saw some shit, and he would play with the people too. So
Can I be honest with you? I find that intriguing. I would like to do that.
I'm a voyeur.
Are you?
I think most people are voyeurs, though.
I would love to do that.
If you saw like across the street a couple having sex in that window, you're watching, right?
Well, as long as I
Of
can.
course. And when you walk, you kind of look up and hoping that you might catch something, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, then you're a voyeur. I think most people are.
I love being something new.
If you live in a high-rise building in New York City, you realize most people are voyeurs.
Because you see them looking around.
Dude, no one has shades or drapes. No one. You could look into so many apartments if you live up high enough. And then you also, because I went to B&H and I bought a bird watching scope. It's not an actual telescope.
Wait a second. So last pop-up, I find out that you're a rollerblader. You're a bird watcher?
I haven't rollerbladed in years.
But you said you were a rollerblader.
When it was hip.
Where am I? Okay, so listen, Mark from Mark. What the fuck? Why'd you... A bird watcher... It's like a scope, right? It's like this.
Scope.
It's almost like a sniper scope.
Yeah, but it comes with a tripod, all nice.
So you're into bird watching.
Well, you got to go to my...
Choose your words carefully.
No, I have no problem telling this. So, like, I would these windows all over New York. You're like, holy. And
Okay, you're into people watching.
Yeah. So you go to B&H, and you're
So
like,
you're saying the bird watching thing is better than binoculars?
well, the binoculars have gotten really good.
Dude, I don't know. That's one thing I don't know. Like Bushnell, like that company, is that what you're talking about?
Bushnell's a good company, yes, really good. Anyway,
Holy shit, you know a lot about this, don't you?
so I go to B&H because I want to up my voyeur game a little bit, right?
I like that. All right, you have my full attention right now.
I want to up my voyeur game, and there was an area at the time. I haven't been to B&H in a few years now, but there was sort of like a telescope / bird watching / blank area, and there's a guy that was working at the time was a bit creepy, and I go,
Dick Cox.
and I love Dick Cox.
Oh, I thought he was the creepy one.
That's a guy's name, by the way. And so I go up to the guy, and I don't know how to say it without,
Like, hi, I'm a creep.
looking like a perv. I'm like, yeah, I got a hobby. I like looking at birds.
Birds in the middle of Manhattan.
Because I didn't know how else to break the ice. So I like going to Central Park and looking at the birds. Right?
He totally knew right off the bat.
Dude, the guy rolls his eyes and basically goes, "Come with me." I was pretty much the 10th guy of the day.
No.
Easily. Because then they had such a display of everything.
Did you just fart?
No. For real, I'll tell you.
Might have been me.
Got some leakage going on?
I was laughing. Maybe I didn't hear it.
You want to check your pants?
No, it's not one of those.
You sure? You're a little
I think I'm all right.
You seem a little concerned.
Yeah.
So I got this bird watching scope.
Right.
And the first thing you realize when you start kind of looking around, you're like, oh my God, there's so many people with telescopes. And they ain't looking at the fucking stars, buddy.
So you see, everyone has a telescope.
A lot of people. I wouldn't say everyone.
Have you ever met someone that was looking at a telescope?
And I honestly haven't seen much. Really haven't.
What's the most you've seen?
Couple women walking around naked with like an older guy. So I'm not sure if the older guy owns the apartment, because there's an apartment. I'm like, I finally hit gold. Right?
You zeroed in on the naked.
I hit gold. It was like the top floor of their building that was right next to us. I'm like, holy fuck, this is it. I finally got something, right? And I got to check them out. I don't remember anymore because this goes back a bunch of years, but I checked them out off and on probably for a week or two. And then one day I went to my bird watching scope, and I looked in to see what was going on, and all I could see is an empty apartment. Fuck,
They're gone.
Moved, they're gone. And that was more or less. Every once in a while you'll see like a woman or a dude completely naked going from one room into their bathroom.
Right.
You know. So
if you saw someone kill themselves, would you report it?
well, that's part of the Boyer Motel.
What do you mean?
Yeah, of course I report it. Why wouldn't I report it?
Boo, it's none of your business, creep. Let people kill people and let them get caught by the cops.
That was a trick question?
Yes, you failed.
You were just quizzing me?
I did quiz you.
Well, what kind of killing is it, though?
Oh, who cares? It's none of your business. Mind your business.
I usually mind my business.
Not if you're like, officer, I caught some murder on my bird watching scope. Boo. You're gonna rollerblade to the police station?
Yeah, that's me.
Look, cop on a horse.
What the fuck?
What's going on here?
I don't know. Anyway, so the Boyer Motel. We're going to need another round, too. How do we get a waitress up here?
I'll go get it.
Yeah, but then I got to talk to these animals.
Why don't you go get it and I'll talk to them?
Yeah, you will. So the book is really good. It's called Boyer Motel by Gay Talese. It documents all the stories over the years. Really erotic. But this guy was sick because he would set up the rooms. He would put like sex toys where the Bibles would be in the drawers, just to give them stuff to play with to try to push them getting into it. And he would leave pornography magazines and whatnot. And he also would do this guy obviously was bored. He would actually make believe he was on the phone when people would come in and go, hey, I forgot her name, but Dorothy, let's say, hey, Dorothy, room 208, the guy's saying he left a briefcase with $10,000 in it. Did you see a briefcase in that room? And she'd go, no, because she was in on the gag. And then the people would go to their room like, holy fuck, and look for the briefcase. He would actually put a briefcase in the closet. And he'd run upstairs to his little spot to spy on them to see how they would handle the briefcase. And he basically,
incredible.
Basically 9 out of 10 times, the people would take the briefcase, they would open it up, it was locked, but they would find any means they can to open it up in the room, find it was empty. But they're now not going to go to the motel manager and say, I found the briefcase and it's empty, because then they're in a weird spot, because they don't know if they're assuming this whole thing is real.
Right.
And then one of the stories goes, I think this one was in the movie and not the book, I'm not sure, but then they would take off the briefcase and get rid of it and then come back to their room. The guy was fucking weird. But this guy saw a murder, supposedly in 1977, from when he was above. It was some kind of like,
So So the writer turned into a voyeur also.
This guy brought the writer up to check out the spot to show that he was legit. And this writer, Gabe Talese, was corresponding with the motel owner for about 30 years before he decided to write the book. Because he was waiting for enough time to go by. Or,
Statute of limitations.
Yeah, of course, so everyone would be safe. But supposedly, when Gabe Talese, the writer, checked it out for the first time, he's leaning over, and his tie went down into the vent and was hanging above the bed, just kind of flopping. And the guy grabs him and yanks him up like, you gotta be careful.
Holy shit.
But I mean, you know, the book was very believable, but then when you see this character in the documentary,
they did it wrong.
You think the guy's a little he's a little bit of a whack job and loves the attention. I believe he was a voyeur, but I think he's probably made up some things. Because then they try to find out about this murder, and there was nothing on the records. I think it was in Colorado. There was nothing around that time of a murder that occurred at this motel. So now they're thinking that guy might have made up that whole
I
fucking
could
story.
explain that easy.
How?
Well, because if there's a murder, the cops are going to be all over that fucking place. They're going to find out that guy's little voyeur thing.
Right.
So he got rid of the bodies. It's his hotel. It don't matter.
I'm trying to remember how it played out.
It's not like the murderer got Opie across the street with the bird watching scope, you know?
I feel like he saw the murder go down because the motel owner, it's coming back to me a little bit, he was pissed off because the guy was a drug dealer. So when they were out of the motel for like an afternoon, he went and hid the drugs in like a heating vent or something. And then the guy came back freaked out that he didn't have any of his drugs and beat the shit out of his girlfriend thinking she had something to do with it. And then he claims that when he was watching from above and then the guy left, that she was breathing and she seemed like she was okay. And then the next day he went to check again and she was in the exact same position. And then realized, oh shit, she's dead. But I can't tell anyone I saw this happen because like you said, then it blew up the spot. So then I believe how it was found out the maid found the body. So Gabe Talese in this documentary, and the documentary guys, they were trying to see if this whole thing was real, and it was a dead end in the documentary. It seemed like they couldn't find any info. It's called Voyeur Motel. The book is really good.
I'm going to read it.
Really good.
But I don't know how to read.
You don't read books, Carl?
I don't read books.
Wow.
I've got the internet and YouTube. Why would I read?
Reading is good every once in a while, no?
For who? Fucking Prince Valiant? What am I going to read for? I'm going to drink beers and eat steak. Watch YouTube. Oh my God.
You watch any of the football yesterday?
I watched the Patriots pull off something that I've never seen before.
That game was insane.
That was like the Super Bowl level excitement.
That was insane. Absolutely. Well, this time of year, the football just gets way
And
better.
then I saw a little bit of the Cowboys-Raiders game.
I didn't see that game.
The NFL is in shambles.
Why do you say
They were
that?
measuring things with a piece of paper. I mean, it just seems so odd.
What do you mean they were measuring something with a piece of
couldn't.
paper?
I was kind of drunk.
Right.
I sat at my local bar and I watched it. I had a rough night, you know, because it was the first time I lost on grocery games.
Oh, yeah, I meant to tell you.
What?
I meant to tell you that it's too bad you lost on grocery games.
You watched it.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Tell me anything about it.
Sure. There was a competition. You were wearing a hat.
No, not the show.
Guy Fieri's like...
Guy Fieri, what?
He's like, 3, 2, 1, go, but you're not sure you're supposed to go. And then he laughs because he got you again. And
No,
then
this was a charity one. Guy Fieri wasn't in this show.
I must have seen a rerun. I was at Target.
Just tell me you were at Target, dude.
No, the real story is I checked my Twitter and everyone's like, hey, hope you see Carl at grocery games. He won. And then I find out that you told everyone to tell me that you won.
Because I know you're not checking. I know you're
Then I'm in a
land.
complete panic because, you know, I'm trying to support you, and I realized you were on grocery games, but we were at Target and we were driving home from somewhere else. So then I'm like, how do I tell him I didn't see this thing?
Just call me and say I didn't see it. We'll be fine. So if I can, so I was waiting for the social media onslaught that was going to come because I'm undefeated. But everybody was supportive. Hey man, no problem. You know,
We got a lot of people out there.
everybody was really nice. But I got wasted at my local bar. And
You weren't bummed that you lost. Were you bummed you lost?
I was. Because I didn't think I lost.
Oh, really? Well, tell me the details.
It's not no details. It is what it is. You know, the judges...
Did they go to the instant replay at least?
There's no instant replay. This is the Food Network. No.
Dude, he did not have possession of that ball. I'm sorry, Steelers fans.
You really don't think so?
No. And I think his knee was down before the ball across the plane. Yes. That game was amazing.
It was amazing.
Fucking amazing.
That Patriots game was incredible.
I loved it, man.
Do you think the Patriots... I'm going to be at the Super Bowl this year.
Are you really?
So, I already got my tickets, confirmation. I'm all set.
Nice.
I'll be representing Marie's Italian Specialties,
Beautiful.
cooking at the Super Bowl, which is pretty cool.
For what, the Food Network or just...
It's quasi Food Network.
Okay.
Who's going to go? Who am I going to be in Minnesota with?
I mean, the Patriots are looking really good. Steelers certainly are not out.
I think the Eagles are going.
Nah, they lost, what's his name there, brother?
Who?
And they barely made it by the Giants. They lost their star quarterback.
The Giants played well.
But the Giants are a shitty team this year. And the Eagles squeaked out a victory. The Eagles are in trouble.
Really?
They're in trouble.
So who's going to Super Bowl? Patriots?
I think the Patriots, yeah. Yeah. Who else you got?
I thought the Eagles were going to go. I know the Giants and the Jets ain't going.
The Eagles had a good shot, but and their guy goes down, and it's over. So you went to your local bar because you were bummed that you lost?
I was bummed.
It was a charity event, too, right?
There's a charity for Alzheimer's for my dad. And so then, but I thought, I was like, let me go get drunk because social media's going to fucking me. But no, everybody's nice.
Yeah.
It was really cool. But what's great is next year, which I already filmed, they bring me back in, and I kick some heads in, boy.
You can't say that? You can't say that. Didn't you write something? Didn't you sign something?
I forget. Sometimes I forget it's just me and you talking.
That's cool. Good for you. Yeah, so I couldn't watch grocery games, and I was in a complete panic. I'm like, fuck. Stupid me, I actually fished this weekend.
But there's no fish.
No fish. And I know there's no fish. They're long gone. Not a bite.
They leave.
Nothing.
Just like birds.
My fellow fishermen, they were nowhere to be seen. And I'm out there like a dumb.
You thought you were going to bucket. You thought things were going to... Nature doesn't...
No, I mean, honestly, I knew, but I felt like maybe there was a straggler,
Right.
One that might have been a little...
What is that? Is that a rollerblader?
A striped bass that's like a little wobbly, a little behind.
Oh my God. What are you going to do, Opie?
Huh?
Let it go.
Let what go?
I saw your face.
It's just people are trying to like get me to talk about dumb shit.
Don't leave that alone. I let bygones be bygones.
I have let bygones be bygones.
Other
People for some reason can't move on. It's really strange to me.
Good, man. Let it go.
I'm drinking out of an empty cup. We gotta get drinks.
I'm going to go get you beer.
Yeah?
Talk to everyone.
All right, let's talk to some people here. Serial killer right behind them. Same thing, Carly. Carl is walking down the steps very slowly. I think he's holding in a shit, to be honest with you. It's no one's fault there, Zuck. I don't know what you're talking about. Stop. Just stop. I wasn't the only one that was a problem. Everyone had their problems. And that's what I'll say about that. Everyone had problems on that show. Not just me. Not just me. Are the glasses by the mic? What's wrong with the microphone today? Are they clanging? There you go. Move that out of sight. What's up, Philly? What's going on, Justin? How are you today, buddy? Hope everyone's good. Hope everyone's getting ready for the holidays. Right around the corner. You think he's brown capping? Yeah, Carl is, he's turtling. How he just walked down those stairs to get a couple more drinks. He's turtling. He's got problems right now. Where are you at today? We're on a bar on 72nd Street on the Upper West Side. We've been kind of hanging in this area lately, but we're going to start expanding the pop-ups. I think we're going to Bap from Detroit checking in, one of the good guys from the last version of the radio show. I know you, Bap. It was that quick? What is that? Same shit? Oh, thank you.
Show everybody.
So this is what I'm drinking.
And then I switched up to one of my favorite.
What you got?
This is good stuff right here.
Oh.
Dragon's milk. 11%.
And then
Hey, keep talking. You were talking about something. Hold on one second.
no, I was just saying hi to everybody. That's all. And people want to know if I'm paying you. That whole pay thing is coming up again. Why? People think I need to pay people to hang out with me and do radio with me. This is the nonsense I got to deal with. When I was moving on for the last version of the show, I've explained all this. I wanted to pay a few of the guys that were really helpful to putting the new radio show together. And I wouldn't sign my contract until I got money from my guys. And for some reason, people are spinning that like it's a bad thing. And you weren't in on that. And I still feel bad. Carl didn't really get paid for his appearances on the last version of the radio show.
Well, that's it. That's because I was there for another show.
Right.
That fat.
But I was basically paying my co-host. I didn't have an official co-host.
I paid my co-host too.
Yeah.
On my fruit show.
Right. But I don't understand why people are spinning this like it was a bad thing, that I actually held out to get money for people that were helping me with the new radio show, and I felt like they shouldn't be coming in for free. So why is that?
But who said that?
Well, that's getting into the weeds. I don't feel like doing that. But I will say this to like the normal people out there. It's amazing that people would spin that. I actually wouldn't sign a contract because they were going to give me about $100,000, I'll tell you the number, for my co-host. And I refused to pick the co-host they wanted me to have.
Who did they want you to have? Ryan Seacrest. You should have picked him.
I've gone over that in the whatever. But they wanted me to have, like an A-lister, someone with a big name to do a radio show with. I'm like, no, I like this group of guys I'm working with, and I don't want them coming in for free day after day, so I'm going to pay them like they're my co-host. So they're like, well, we'll give you $100,000. I'm like, no. So I held out, and I finally got $200,000 that I spread the wealth.
Right.
To Sherrod, Vic Henley.
Good for you.
Rich Voss, who, for some reason, that's a problem with Rich Voss. I'll never understand that.
I saw him the other day.
Yeah, good for you.
He said hello.
Whatever. Anyway, the one person that should have got paid, there were two people that should have got paid that didn't, but I couldn't take care of everybody. But I also felt like some of these guys were coming in and, it was helping their ticket sales, so I felt like there was some worth to it. Like your business went up in Marie's.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel bad I didn't pay Mark Norman because he was one of the guys on the fence. But I called him up and we had a really good conversation about it. I actually apologized to him because I really felt like he should have been one of the guys. But I couldn't take care of everybody, and I only had $200,000. And if I had three,
So that's wait a second. So I could vouch for this. So those were the conversations that you would have with Roland, with booking.
Yeah.
So he would come in. I remember this. He would come in during the commercial break and say, "Who do you want for tomorrow?" And you'd be like, "I have this much money left.
Yeah.
Bring in one free guy and one paid guy." I remember that.
Yeah, because I was running out of money, and the other part, I've explained all this, but the other part is I threw in my own money for this too.
Right.
So I don't know why this is a bad thing that you're trying to take care of people that were good to you. I mean, it's so weird. And then I'm going to say it. I have to. I ended up giving Carl a check near the end there because I felt like it wasn't right that you weren't really getting paid.
Out of your own money.
That was That was a fat check that I threw in your car because I knew you wouldn't take it.
I wouldn't take it.
I got Carl good. What was it? 49th Street?
49th Street. So
wait, no, is that 48th on that side? Like it matters.
Yeah. So no, it's 49th Street.
49th
That's where my
Street.
sushi place is.
We would hang outside the building after the radio show, and I knew I was going to give Carl a nice check. And I'm not bragging, but if we're talking about this, I want all the info.
So I'm leaving, and you come. You go, wait. Because I slow down.
You're already in a car.
I'm in my car driving. I'm in traffic.
Midtown Manhattan. You can't stop.
You can't stop. And you run up. So I bring down the window like you tell me something. You throw a check, and I'm like, I'm like, fucking Opie, I'm gonna rip this right in front of him. And then I see the number, I'm like, I'm not gonna rip it.
Because I kind of started telling Carl, look, I got to give you something, and he's like, dude, you were one of. I mean, that's why me and Carl are friends. Like, you never really asked me for anything. I can't tell you how many of these guys expected a lot of thing to do. What? So I waited till his car started pulling away. I ran up and just threw it at him. And then I ran away, like, because now he can't park the car. And what are you going to awkwardly come in the next day with the check?
Yeah, it's gonna get worse and worse and worse now.
So the people out there.
So I came home with like the white Christmas tree, like Goodfellas.
Nice.
Hey Karen, I bought the best tree they had.
Very nice. So, you know, there are people out there trying to spin that I have to pay people to hang out with, which is so twisted because I was just trying to do the right thing for people. And, you know, I messed up with Mark Norman. Bob Kelly bitched and complained about not getting paid. But the weird thing with Bob Kelly is he wouldn't sign a fucking contract. And Sirius wanted these guys to sign a contract before they got paid. And then he spun that in my face after the fact. Because he said at the time, like, look, I just like coming in here. So, all right. But then for some reason he went off on me for not getting paid. I'm like, dude, you know there was a contract that you refused to sign. This is the shit I have to deal with all the time. Whatever.
Enough of that. Here's what I think. I think, can I be honest?
Yeah.
I think a lot of this.
If it's too honest, we're gonna fucking fight in that garbage pot.
Okay. No. It is very honest. I think a lot of this is bullshit. I think a lot of it is the fact that these guys are just talking on podcasts and stuff. They got nothing to talk about. And you're the biggest lighthouse in the room. You know what I mean? They're just talking crazy. Like, you can't be a grown man and be upset that you're getting paid to do a gig. It doesn't make sense.
No, the other comics were getting upset, but it's like, are you kidding me? Like, I'll speak for the Opie and Anthony days. If you were a comic coming on Opie and Anthony, it didn't matter you weren't getting paid. Your ticket sales were going through the fucking roof.
Right.
When we met Jim Norton, he wasn't making what he's making now. Right. And that's no slam on Jimmy or anything like that. He's a talented guy, but. Yeah. These guys came on the show and all saw their ticket sales go through the fucking roof.
Right.
But when I was putting a new show together, I knew the guys that were working. It was a small group of guys, and most of the people that were with us near the end know the guys. And then there were fringe guys as well.
Right.
And those are the guys that I sort of feel bad that I couldn't give them a little taste. But like you said, you know, because you heard our conversation rolling, I was in a panic every day. Like,
every day. I remember this conversation every day.
I know Doug Benson's cool, and he wants to do a whole week. That's cool. Then I don't have to use any of the money that I'm running
Doug
out
Benson?
of. Well, of course I do. I love
Remember that time we brought that bottle of vodka and Doug Benson drank the whole thing? I love Doug Benson.
Wow, he's another angry drunk.
He could put him away. Remember him just like running his mouth? Shut up!
Then he's smoking pot in the studio.
Oh, yeah!
Oh my God!
We had some good times in there.
We had some good times.
Yeah,
but anyway.
And then some bad times.
Not really.
Yeah, you know the worst time was when we couldn't go back. That was a bad time.
Well, that's a bad time.
That is a bad time.
Look, I've been doing this for a really long time, and that last year it ranks right up there as one of my favorite years of doing radio ever.
We had fun.
And you know, I was you know. And I'm talking about the Opie and Anthony years when we were just fucking rock stars. But that last year, there was something about it. It was so easy, and it was so fun.
That's funny.
You know, it was one of my favorite years.
We had a good time. We had a good time.
So, anyway, what else, Carl? Before we turn this fucking thing off. Oh, you were talking about. So I was fishing and I didn't get a bite, and I knew I wasn't going to get a bite, but we just went and chilled for the weekend, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go fish for a while. And you were telling me about the tuna.
Oh my God, tunas are incredible.
I want to go tuna fishing so fucking bad.
You let me know. We'll go to Canada. We'll go tuna fishing.
Well, I got the guy, one of the guys from Wicked Tuna. I think it's the guy that has a real shitty boat. He invited me a bunch of times. He's a fan of I guess Opie and Anthony back in the day. And I don't know how far he goes.
Just a hint. You don't want to go on a shitty boat for tuna. You're going out far, man.
Yeah, but he's on Wicked Tuna, or he was. I don't know if that show's still on the air.
I know people that are on cake and baking shows on the Food Network. I wouldn't eat a goddamn cookie from that.
Is the cake boss an asshole?
No.
He seems like an asshole.
No, he's not.
I could say it.
He's not. You know what it is? He's like Rocky in Rocky 1.
Really?
Yeah, he's just simple guy. Simple guy.
A little too simple.
For media, I would say so.
Yeah. Anyway, so I want to go tuna fishing. The Wicked Tuna guy invited me. I think it was the guy that his boat fucking broke. But then you were telling me about tuna and how crazy they are.
Oh, tunas are incredible.
Yeah.
Do you know that they're one of the only fish?
It's all good. These guys are as high as fuck.
What are you doing?
I think you want to sit there.
Oh,
Holy shit, you can smell the pot.
that smells great. Ah, that's nice.
I haven't smoked pot or done edibles in months.
I haven't smoked pot
Since I got fired.
since you turned this thing on.
Since. By the way, a few people think you're turtling.
What does that mean?
You got a poopy sticking out a little bit. Just how you walk down the stairs. You look like you were really holding something in.
Did you see what I ate for lunch? I'm surprised shit's not coming out of my mouth. It's not a turtle as much as a gopher. It just comes out real fast and looks around and stuff. But I'm feeling it.
So I want to go tuna fishing. We're going to do that.
Tuna fish is awesome. When I was in Canada, I hung out with the Japanese tuna fish guys. And
Really?
these tunas are so fast. Do you know that when they're hunting, they go 60 miles an hour?
60?
60 miles an hour.
For real?
Like, boom. It's one of the only fish that's body temperature is hotter than the water, even though they're cold-blooded animals. They're one giant muscle. That's why they're red. They're a giant muscle.
There's no fat on it.
No fat. This is the athlete of the ocean. They are incredibly fast. And they're vicious son of a bitches.
Really?
Vicious.
In what way?
Just vicious with each other, vicious in the schools. Whatever they encounter becomes complete fucking chop suey.
I don't feel bad about eating sushi now.
You should eat.
And how far do they fucking travel?
I'm going to tell you something, Opie, in life. In life, this is why you should always remember this. If anything is alive, if it was bigger than you, it would eat you.
Well, yeah, of course.
If an ant was bigger than you, it would eat you. It would destroy you. We're the only ones that have this stupid compassion.
Sort of.
I have none of it.
Hang out on Twitter and you realize no one has compassion. Fucking savages.
Yeah, but Twitter's normal people too. There's a lot of people that play characters on Twitter. You know what I mean? That's their thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They live in nowhere America, and their wife looks like them. You know what I mean?
You start looking like your wife.
You start looking like your wife and your basset hound all at the same time.
How far can tuna travel?
Around the globe. You know, if you're catching them in Canada, they're going to Japan. Same thing, same distance. They travel. They're nomads. They open their mouth and eat and go 100 miles an hour. They're unbelievable fish. And if you ever see one whole, it looks like a bullet. Completely smooth. They have these very small little tracking fins that just correct their course because they run in really tight schools. Tuna is. I study them because I love to eat them.
Are we gonna run out of tuna?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think they're overfished?
No.
Is that all bullshit?
Yeah.
Because Japan just gets away with whatever the fuck they
Tuna
want.
Japan is crazy.
That's where most of these problems happen, right? Because they don't have any real regulations.
Japan is a very smart culture. When Japan started, in its infancy, they really, with Buddhism and everything, they tied in don't harm animals, land animals, and stuff like that. Because Japan was very hard to farm and had a rocky soil. People don't realize a lot of religion is a scam. It's just a way to control a lot of people. And Japanese culture depended on the ocean, which freed up a lot of their land. You know what I mean? And it hasn't been overgrazed or anything. That's why they really don't drink milk or dairy. Do you understand how
the Japanese don't do dairy?
No.
Why?
Their desserts are made out of bean curd.
Really?
It's incredible. They don't do a lot of dairy at all.
But don't they know how delicious dairy is?
You're asking me if I know what a Japanese guy knows?
But that just doesn't make any sense.
How? If you ever go to a Japanese supermarket,
right.
They don't eat potatoes. They don't eat potato chips. They have bags that look just like a potato chip bag, but it's full of dried mini crabs or dried mini shrimp. They eat dried shrimp like you eat potato chips.
I don't like that.
You don't like that? Why wouldn't you like that?
Is it delicious?
You should listen to them. They make this stupid camera. They make everything. They're smarter than we are. We're eating potatoes, dying at age 27.
They're doing. Obviously, they're doing something right.
They know how to do everything. They built a Toyota. Toyota's a good car.
Yeah. All right. What else, Carl?
I want to go home.
You do?
Don't you?
Yeah, I think we did it, right?
Yeah, we're done.
Any last questions? Carl's got to go home. He did his Peter Luger's lunch.
That was some lunch, Opie.
You should have invited me, man.
What do you mean? I had to do business.
By the way, Sherrod was going to show up. I don't see Sherrod. Do you?
I gotta get some. I got something for Sherrod. I gotta see him.
Really?
Yeah.
He was going to show up and hang out with us for a while. I told him if he doesn't show up here, we'll do like a pop up on the sidewalk outside Race Wars.
Let's
We
do
did
it.
that. Yeah. When is he doing Race Wars again? Like Wednesday or something?
Every Wednesday, yeah.
Radio update. There is no update.
Here's your update.
There is no update.
Want to go get hot dogs?
And, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, let's get some hot
That
dogs.
sounds good. We're going to get some hot dogs, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out the pop-up. Carl Ruiz on the Twitter, Sabor Chef, S-A-B-O-R, Chef on Instagram. He's late, cough. Yeah, Sherrod is late.
Hey guys, this is a very good beer.
Cheers.